So with Halloween, I was thinking about Halloween-y type stuff. And one of the things I was thinking about was Ouija boards or Ouija boards. They're spelled stupid. They're spelled O-U-I. So fuck you, French. Come on. You're not even using the letters of the alphabet the way they're supposed to be used. Like, when I learned the ABCs, first I learned the song, which turns out to be Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, but never there's no circumstance where I learned that O sounds like whoa. So what are you doing, French? First we gotta hate you for World War II, and now you're doing stupid stuff with our alphabet, which is actually an Arabian alphabet, so it's not ours at all. But anyway, Ouija boards. I was thinking about them, and mostly I was thinking about the fact that I can't believe that it was ever made into a board game for children. Like, that's... like... So I did a little digging, some history. First off, I was like, oh, that'd be amazing if they released it right after The Exorcist. Because the whole point of The Exorcist is she's playing with a Ouija board by herself and then gets possessed by the devil because that's how he got in or whatever. And I thought, like, oh, that'd be amazing if, like, corporations, because we all know corporations, they're the most evil thing ever. I mean, if you're playing with a Ouija board, your worry is that you'll summon demons, but you should really be more worried that you'll summon the CEO of any given corporation because they are the most evil. So I wouldn't put it past them to say, hey, this Exorcist thing's really caught on. Why don't we sell the board game she was playing? Because in my head, I was thinking that it had been this cult thing that had been around for thousands of years that she had just happened to be playing, but it turns out that's not the case. Turns out it was only invented in the 1890s, and the board game came out in like the 60s. So back to my original thought, how the hell did it get presented as a board game? Because it started off as not a big deal, but then it eventually became associated with ghosts and the occult. So, what was the pitch meeting at Hasbro? What? All right, guys, it's that time of the year. We're looking for new ideas for board games. Jenkins, what do you got? Candy? It's a game, has a lot to candy and, I don't know. What else? Oh, Marge, what do you got? It's a game that takes us through life. Oh, that's interesting. Wesley, what do you got? Well, follow me on this. So there's this thing I've seen roaming around at parties and stuff like that, where you can talk. So all right. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm so excited. So it's a board game kind of where it's the alphabet, and then there's a yes, a no, a goodbye, a hello, and you and your friends, you put your hand on like this magnifying glass, and you ask it questions, and then it moves to answer the questions, and what's moving? What is moving everything? Spirits. Yeah. The spirits are answering your questions. What do you think? So you break out the board game, you ask questions to the dead, and then it answers your question. How does it answer your questions? Like, how do we know it works? Oh, I've seen it at parties. It works. Like, I saw it. I didn't believe it. I played it. It fucking worked. And I was like, this has to be a fucking board game for kids. Look, I don't know how I don't know how the spirits do it or whatever, but it definitely works. So, yeah, but are there any winners or losers or what? Well, no, there's not really any winners or losers unless you play with it by yourself. Then you'll get possessed by Satan, and then I guess you wouldn't necessarily be a loser, but your family certainly would be a loser in that circumstance. But otherwise, I mean, it's loads of fun if you don't play it by yourself. But no winners or losers. But I figure we could sell it with candles because, it's more fun to do in candlelight. And then, we'll throw some disclaimers on there about, like, don't play by yourself. Don't do it in a cemetery. I don't know why, but just don't. It's disrespectful, I guess. Now you're bothering the dead even more. Like, it's one thing to call on your dead relatives when you're in your house, because everyone knows they're already watching over you, because obviously that's all the afterlife is just watching your alive relatives. Kind of a shitty afterlife, if you ask me. Like, great, I'm dead. Now what? Oh, you just got to watch your ex-husband take a shit, masturbate. How long do I got to do this? What happened to the streets of gold and I can do anything? Well, you can, but there's sort of this period where you got to do this for like 50 years. Because you got to watch them, then you got to watch your kids, then you got to watch their kids. And then after that's done, basically when your kids come up to heaven, then you can move on to go play and do all the crazy cool stuff. Because, I mean, you're here for eternity, and then your kids will have to sit there for 50 years and watch their kids and etc. Anyway, that was a weird diatribe that I put in the middle of this pitch meeting. But my point is, don't do it in cemeteries, I guess. So, what do you think? Marge, I'm going to put your life game on hold. Sounds too depressing. Candyland, that's a winner for sure. And I think we're going to go with this. What do you call it? We call it Ouija board. Really? How's it spelled? W-E-E? No, it's spelled O-U-I. Well, that's fucking stupid. Listen, French. We can sell it internationally. It'll seem international. We'll get that whole audience. All right, well, yeah, thumbs up, but we're not going to sell the candles. I feel like there's a liability there. So, but good job, Wesley. I even looked up the commercial because I was curious. Well, first off, I looked up the commercial, and of course, stupid YouTube. Everything was a parody. I'm like, this can't be the fucking... But, they trick you because we live in a world of fucking clickbait where it says official commercial from Hasbro, 1964, and then it's a fucking parody. But I did find the actual commercial, not from the 60s, but from the 90s. I guess they did a reboot. And they weren't saying that you were talking to ghosts. It was basically like, will my mom allow me to wear makeup? Or does Billy Johnson like me? And then, there was like a little thing like, how does it work? We don't know. And then at the end it says, it's just a game. Or is it? And then I looked up, I went to Amazon and I looked up the specifications. And ages 8 and up to summon the dead. And also... warning, choking hazard. Because that's what's really important. Don't worry that you're going to summon the dead or possibly get possessed by Satan. Make sure you don't choke on anything, which there are no chokeable parts. It's a fucking magnifying glass and a cardboard Cardboard board. And it is interesting. I've done the Ouija board. It did not work for me because I already knew how it worked. Like, it's basically suggestive. It's sort of like hypnotism in a way. Like, you involuntarily move. So, like, you know, if you wanted to say yes, then somebody's going to already start to be moving it that way. And maybe not everyone, because that's why two people have to do it. But I did it, and I was like, I'm not fucking going along with this shit. Like, if a spirit's going to really move my hand, then it better do better than just, like, it better be like one of those crazy movies where you see it move all crazy and fast, like, but this slow ass, like, gradual. I mean, I don't even think kids today could play that game because they'd lose interest. Like, oh, geez, what? It's taking fucking one whole minute just to get to a letter? Fuck this game. Where's Ouija board on my phone? But I always thought it would be fun, like if you're at a party and, you know, somebody's like, hey, everybody, it's time for a game. What do you guys want to play? Charades? Yeah, maybe a little Risk or something. And then somebody raises their hand like, you got anything with a sprinkling of the occult that we can play? Because let's face it, every person who's ever played the Ouija board, they want something weird and scary to happen. They're not playing it to see if Timmy Jenkins has a crush on him. We're all playing it to see if we can get some shit to fly across the room. Or, I mean, my sister has a Ouija board story, which is pretty chilling, and I'm going to tell it on her behalf because I don't think she has her own podcast. They were playing a Ouija board, and I don't know how it goes exactly, but somebody went upstairs. Might have been my sister or maybe a friend. But anyway, they asked the spirit. There was all kinds of crazy stuff going on. There was the, if you're really the spirit, give us a sign. Then the phone rang. That was crazy. Back in the days when there were landlines. But the chilling part of this story, and I don't know if it's true or not, but the friend or my sister or somebody went upstairs, and to prove that the ghost was real, they said, tell us what so-and-so. I'll just assume it wasn't my sister upstairs because how would she know what was happening? Anyway, so they were saying, if you're really real, spirit, tell us what so-and-so is wearing upstairs. Right? And, the spirit said, like, green dress or something. To which everyone's like, see, it's proof. It's bullshit. Because she walked upstairs. We all saw it. She was wearing jeans and a blue shirt. See? This is bullshit. But here's the part that gets spooky. My sister or her friend, I don't know. I should probably get in touch with my sister and find out what the story really is. Anyway, whoever it was that was upstairs came down, and you guessed it, a green fucking dress. So, I don't know. All I'm saying is, if that was real, and the spirit told her friends about that green dress, how the fuck did it get pawned off as a board game from Hasbro? Yeah, these are the deep thoughts that I have that I felt needed to get out there into the interverse. In fact, I actually have a Ouija board right here. But that was bad object work. Here, I got a Ouija board right here. Are people going to enjoy that podcast? Oh, what's happening? Oh, it just seems to be going kind of in circles. It keeps going towards yes, and then it's going towards maybe. No, it's going towards. It's spinning around. Spinning around. Oh, it just went to goodbye.